Hi everyone, Mike is a value. So today I'm looking into a company called Oddity Tech. The name sounds a little odd because it sort of is odd. Because you think about the company Oddity Tech and you think, what does this company do? Is it in the space of hardware or something like that? You would actually never guess that it was in beauty and wellness. Well, it certainly is, and it's actually making a very massive impact into the industry. It's gaining a lot of ground. Its revenues are actually fantastic. It's a high growth company making a good profit. Hard to find that tough company. So, in terms of that, let's dive into the IPO. So, the IPO is currently priced at about between $32 to $34, having a massive demand. Originally, it was looking about $27 to $30, and now it's looking at $32 to $34, which is fantastic. Usually, you only get a jump in pricing when there's an overwhelming demand, which is terrible if you want to be buying onto the market when it opens. Um, also it just means you're paying at a higher price in general because of demand, rather than any other metric, and that's just how it works. In terms of its valuation, it is going to be having about a 1.92 billion valuation, which I think it's kind of fair. Um, but I think it's definitely worth a lot more. And it's a company that the longer you hold it for, the more it's going to be worth, particularly in the pace that it's growing at, and also the profits that are accumulating as well. You'll understand once I show you the financials, and then you'll sort of be impressed, I imagine. So here we go. So Odyssey has a brand called Il Maquillage. Apparently it's quite good. Apparently it does a really nice foundation. I'm not gonna know because I don't use foundation. So it is the fastest growing global beauty direct to consumer platform from 2020 to 2022. So, that is fantastic. It's to find a company that's, doing anything as fastest is, doing well. But get this. If we look at the second brand, our second brand, Spoilt Child, launched in 2022 with the goal of disrupting the wellness category online, and is scaling even faster than Il Maquillage, which is even more impressive. So you've got a first company that's first brand was fastest, and then they released a second brand, and using all the feedback, all the analytics, they create a second brand that is performing at an even more better and more brisk and a more wonderful pace than the first brand. So you can see why this company is succeeding. It's using the right stuff, and it's just doing really well. So let's see. In terms of their financials, you're going to be fairly impressed. So during the year ended December the 31st, 2022, we scaled to $327 million, and that's up from $222 million, which they did the year prior. And in 2020, they did 110 million. So they're going 110 million, double that to 222 million, and then they've gone from 222 million to 327 million, which is really nice growth. They seem to be just adding 100 million at a consistent rate, which is fantastic. Like, they keep doing that, things are going to look fabulous, as you would probably find that term, as you would expect. So in terms of the financials, the way they do their financials, as you see here, 324 million, cost of revenue was 106 million, gross profit was 218 million. So overall, those numbers are fairly good, really good margins. The expenses are fairly high in some sense, 190 million. But overall, it's translating to 21 million for 2022. But the thing that really, really starts to stand out is in 2023, for the first 3 months of the year, they're doing $165 million with a cost of revenue of $48 million. And if you look at that, the gross profit is $117 million, which is basically slightly more than half of last year. And how's it translating? It's translating to $19 million in profit. And last year they did 21 for the whole year. This year, for the first 3 months, they're doing 19 million. So that's insane. These guys are potentially scaling to anywhere between 60 to 100 million in profit this year. Or, they may surprise you, but this is sort of fantastic. They're doing really, really well. They're growing quick. Their profits also growing quick. Everything's kind of growing quick for this company. So it's in a really, really nice space. A company that is definitely worth looking at. They say 40% of their workforce are technologists. So then you look at this company and there's a lot to like about it. A lot of things to really consider. I think it's a very straightforward company. They don't really do anything too complicated. They do beauty products. They have a better channel of advertising, engaging online, and selling online as well, rather than having too many expenses. And are proving that their product's really good as well. They get really, really good reviews. They're performing extremely well. The IPO should be particularly interesting. There seems to be a lot of demand for these shares since the IPO pricing jumped from $27 to $30 between 32 and 34. So that tells you a lot about the demand for those shares. I think when it opens, the pricing will be a lot higher. But hopefully, of course, if you can get cheap shares, that would be wonderful. But I think the company is definitely worth that pricing, or even more. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.